welcome to this edition of Headlines Nigeria on NITV. Reaching you from our studios here in Abuja, I am Grace Ukot. We'll take a look at today's newspaper headlines. Punch newspaper, Jonathan appoints Soyebi Acting INEC Chairman. President Goodluck Jonathan has approved the appointment of Mr. Solomon Soyebi as the acting chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The outgoing chairman of the INEC, Professor Maurice Iwu, will formally hand over to Soyebi today instead of Mr. Philip Umeadi, the commissioner in charge of publicity and the most senior officer. Senate rejects move to probe Yar'Adua's death. The Senate on Tuesday turned down a move by some of its members to direct the federal government to set up a judicial panel of inquiry to investigate the management of the health of former President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua shortly before his death. Although the Senate took time to eulogize the late Yar'Adua, the senators drew the attention of their colleagues to what they considered the shoddy manner the former president was treated by people close to him. Nationwide blackout looms as PHCN workers prepare for strike. The already deplorable power situation in the country may worsen in the days ahead as junior and senior employees of the Power Holding Company of Nigeria have threatened to go on a nationwide strike from Monday. The 21-day ultimatum issued by the workers to the federal government to tackle problems in the power sector and address their welfare expires on that day. Judge stops Lagos Assembly from probing Fashola. A Lagos High Court in Ikeja on Tuesday restrained a 7-man ad hoc committee set up by the Lagos State House of Assembly to probe the allegations of financial impropriety leveled against the administration of Governor Babatunde Fashola by a group called the True Face of Lagos. Justice Okpeyemi Oke also restrained the panel and its agents from proceeding with the investigation pending the determination of the motion on notice. And this day newspaper, another explosion rocks Warri. Another explosion on Monday night shook the 2-story office building of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, in Warri, Delta State, and spread panic among residents of the area. A similar incident had occurred in the town on March 15, 2010, when 2 bombs were detonated some 200 meters away from the Government House Annex, venue of a 2-day post-amnesty dialogue organized by the Vanguard newspapers. The Movement for the Emancipation of the Niger Delta MEND had claimed responsibility for the blast. INEC, Waziri orders probe of 2.8 billion naira illegal withdrawal. The last may not have been heard on the corruption in Independent National Electoral Commission, as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Farida Waziri, ordered an investigation into an alleged illegal withdrawal of 2.8 billion naira from the official account of the commission. Acting chairman of INEC, Philip Umeadi, had on the 30th of April this year ordered that the bank accounts of the commission be frozen the same day he took over after the former chairman, Maurice Iwu, was asked by the presidency to proceed on terminal leave. And taking a look at Vanguard newspaper, EXCOF holds valediction for Yar'Adua today. Today's weekly meeting of the Executive Council of the Federation is to be dedicated to life and times of Nigeria's immediate past president, Alhaji Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, who died last Wednesday. This is coming barely a day after the National Assembly had embarked on a similar exercise as members of the lower chamber gathered all former leaders of the House of Representatives to honor the late president. Regular power supply is federal government's immediate priority, Minister. The federal government has said that making sustainable electricity available to the citizenry is of immediate priority to the present administration, even as it observed that lack of electricity has been a major impediment to economic growth of the country, and that fixing it would mean fixing the major factors impeding the growth of the economy. And now moving over to politics. Punch newspaper, 2011, Jonathan can contest El-Rufai. The former minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nasir El-Rufai, on Tuesday said President Goodluck Jonathan was free to vie for president in the 2011 elections, despite the zoning arrangement of the People's Democratic Party. El-Rufai spoke to journalists at the State House while reacting to the raging debate over the president's eligibility to contest the 2011 presidential election on the platform of the PDP. And Vanguard, Northern Senators back McCarthy for VP. The Northern Senators Forum has called on President Goodluck Jonathan to pick former Kaduna State Governor Senator Ahmed McCarthy as his vice president, saying it was proper for the vice president to come from the north since the president is from the south, and as such the forum had settled for McCarthy. Group backs Jonathan for 2011. The leadership of Jonathan 2011, a political pressure group in the PDP, has thrown its weight behind the candidature of President Goodluck Jonathan in the 2011 general election and the re-election of Governor Emmanuel Uduaghan of Delta State for a second term in office. Members of the group who rose from a meeting in Asaba, Delta State, vowed to remove all encumbrances capable of stalling the attainment of their objectives. PPA cautions Jonathan over Obasanjo. The Progressive People's Alliance, PPA, has said that in view of former President Olusegun Obasanjo's antecedents, it has become necessary to warn President Goodluck Jonathan to be careful the way he listens to Obasanjo, because it is already evident that Obasanjo has a stronghold on the government of Dr. Jonathan. And on business news, Punch newspaper once more, Sanusi blames federal government for poor credit growth. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Lamido Sanusi, on Tuesday blamed poor credit growth in the economy on the inability of the federal government to hasten reforms in critical sectors, particularly the power and oil and gas sectors. Nigeria to get $80 million World Bank mining grant. Nigeria expects to get additional $80 million mining grant from the World Bank under the Sustainable Management of Mineral Resources project, the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Mr. Musa Sada, has said. This day newspaper, tax evasion, oil giant Saipem in 14 billion naira dispute. Italian oil and gas servicing giant Saipem and the Rivers State government are locked in a dispute over the company's alleged tax evasion to the tune of 14 billion naira. The allegation borders on the non-remittance of personal income tax and concealment of some taxable expatriate projects. Saipem Contracting Nigeria Limited, in its response, confirmed that it got a notice from the Rivers government stating that it owed such an amount, but the company claims that it does not owe the government that amount. And moving over to sports news, Punch newspaper, Siasia Ikpeba disagree on Argentina. Former internationals Samson Siasia and Victor Ikpeba have expressed different views on the Super Eagles' chances against Group B favorites Argentina at the 2010 World Cup. While Siasia, who scored a scorcher against the South American country at the 1994 World Cup in the USA, believes the Eagles should take advantage of the Argentines' poor defending. Ikpeba, a 1997 African Footballer of the Year, says a watertight defense will be the key to a good outing against the former world champions. Taribo slams Lagerbach's 30-man list. Super Eagles coach Les Lagerbach's 30-man list ahead of the 2010 World Cup has come under heavy criticism from former international defender Taribo West. Taribo described the list as a display of madness, saying dropping some players from the team without giving them a chance to prove themselves might affect the team at the World Cup. Vanguard newspaper, Eagles will surprise all in South Africa, Etuhu. Super Eagles midfielder Dixon Etuhu has said that Nigeria will spring surprises at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa if the players stick together on and off the pitch of play. The 27-year-old Fulham player has been included in Nigeria's provisional 30-man World Cup, which was released Monday by coach Les Lagerbach in Abuja, and said that the Super Eagles are favorites to pick up one of the two qualification slots from Group B, comprising Argentina, Greece, and South Korea. And with this, we've come to the end of today's edition of Headlines Nigeria. Log on tomorrow for a fresh package. Thanks for logging on.